Welcome back to the channel, guys. As you can see, I have my gloves on, which means on this episode there's going to be some action mechanically. We've got Michelle back as my producer. Say hello, Michelle.
Hi guys.
So in this episode we're going to be working on the Super Turbo. Michelle, roll the intro.
Paul, we don't have an intro.
What?
We don't have an intro.
How have we not got an intro yet?
Because you've only got like 11 subscribers.
Oh, right, okay. Well, skip that. Just on the board, back to the board that everybody hates. But today we're going to fix steering. So we've got a list here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we made the intro. Should be an 8 series video. Hopefully on the Super Turbo. So today's episode we're going to do steering. And if we come down here, we've got the track reden and a steering rack boot to repair. So that's what we're going to head into today. So come along. Right. Nice. At least it's small wheels taken off. Right, Michelle, if you bring this camera in here, this is the problem here. So I'm not going to lie, that was me that kind of damaged that. So basically, to give everyone an idea of what's been happening in here, there was huge play on, never mind that disc I've got then, but there was huge play on the steering rack. So I tried to get a rack from multiple sources, but the issue is with the age of the car, we couldn't get a reconditioned one. I messaged a few people for replacements of the UK micros. It was kind of wild goose chase. So basically, the guy I bought I put a post on the forum. The guy I bought the car off seen my post, and he messaged me saying what's up with the rack, and I showed him a video which we'll cut in here. So it's actually a small rubber bush. So we had to take off the track reden, the inner rod, and replace the bush. So they crumble. So inside the steering boot, basically the bush was sitting inside there in tatters. So we removed all that and we've pressed in the new rubber bush, and it's cured the issue. But unfortunately, me being me, burst the track reden boot. So today we're going to repair that. So we've got the track reden here. Hopefully it's the right one, because again, oh, it doesn't look like the right one. And on the opposite side, the steering rack boot is shot, so we're going to replace it on the opposite side. So we'll do this side first and then the other side. You can see I done some of the work on this, and the suspension's been changed. We've got the discs in that, but I just didn't want to change them because I didn't want to change them when they were sitting outside corroding. So we're going to do them last before it goes to its MOT. So let's get fire in here. Squeeze a wee lever in to put pressure. There we go. Plug it off. And we'll get this separated up. Should come off in the trouble. There we go. Right. Should have probably cracked that first. That was a 17 on there as well. Just keep that in so we've got something to lever against. It shouldn't be too tight. If it's tight, heat it up and lubricate it and stuff, but it shouldn't be tight because I've already had this off, so yep, it's loose enough. So we're going to just loosen that off, just back it off, lift this out, and we're going to count the turns. So we're down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost 18, so if we start there and go 17, that will take us back to roughly where we began. Now you have to take into consideration that these aren't going to be exactly, that's actually a good match, but there's always a kind of millimetre difference and stuff like that, so you always have to get your steering geometry redone.
Why are you counting the turns?
So it's threaded, so good question, Michelle. it's threaded. So if it's the exact same size and we count the turns, if we put it back on the same amount of turns, we're assuming that it's as close to the position where it was when it came off, and the wheel alignment shouldn't be dragged out as much. If you take 17 turns off and put 8 back on, you've wound it no far enough, so you've left it sticking out too far, which is going to push the tracking of this wheel towing out. I'm sure. So basically, if we wind it back in, we're back to kind of the starting position. It's not going to be 100% accurate, so you should still get wheel alignment done. So we're just comparing it to the new one that we have that we've ordered, and it looks identical. Well, a very close match anyway. We're doing it in the bag because if we bust the bag, they might not accept it if it's the wrong part. So just always double check before you fit new parts, especially on cars this age. We don't want to go making mistakes and then we've got spare parts lying around. Yeah, so we'll fire this on just now. It does look pretty much. Oh, there is a split pin in there. I didn't think it was a split pin. As it's a castellated nut, there's a wee split pin in there, so we need to use that. There wasn't one on this. Because this car's not registered, we actually had to Google another car that's registered in the UK, and we've used the registration of it. So we've used registration from like just a standard UK Micra and for another Super Turbo to cross-reference some parts and stuff to make sure we're getting as accurate parts as we can to make sure we can try and build this back up. So these looks as if we've got lucky in this occasion, and these two are pretty accurate, so we'll get this fitted back on, and then that should be this side done. On it. So we started about here, see that caught there, so it's caught the thread, and then we 17 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and that pretty much is taking me right back to where the nut is as well. So it's not going to be 100% accurate. The good thing is that these kind of pretty much the same length. You might get one that's like a millimetre or something and it'll throw your geometry out. This probably will as well. It's just a good reference point. It's no bulletproof, it's not like a guarantee, but it should keep it relatively straight. And then we're still going to get a wheel alignment done because we've changed the suspension anyway, so it's always wise when you do things like that. So we're in there. Castellated nut. And we're going to tighten this up by hand because we don't want to gun everything that can end up messing about with. So we'll put steering lock on just to help us there. Bit here. Not horsing it too much, but so it was nice and tight there, and split pin. There. And then just hold it in and that will stop. Castellated nut coming back off, and then we can tighten back up. What we'll do is we'll get another spanner on there. Tight it in here. Just make sure it's tightened up. So that's what track with the end done. There, that is shagged, is the Scottish word for that. And this is a replacement. It looks to be not too bad accuracy wise. This had to come from Lithuania. So it was a few weeks, that's how much we've struggled to get parts that don't. Maybe no, but if it covers, I mean, if we can get it to cover, then they're not going to fail it. And if it's covered, it's covered. So that's our issue on this side. So let's get to it. To clear this, well, this one you could cut it off, but to put the new one on, we're going to have to clear this knuckle for the track rod. So we're going to have to remove this one. Be a lot more careful that we don't bust this rubber boot, or we're replacing this as well, which wouldn't be a disaster. It's no dear, and we can get it, but so we'll try and save a bit of cash. But same issue. So we're going to take this off, slide this one off. Hopefully the new one slips on pretty well, and then that's the drama of the steering rack over. Let's get to it. Try and save this from breaking. The ramp actually gets in your way sometimes. Oh, here we go. So we can reuse that. And we'll spray that up. And we'll spray you up. Oh, that was nice. Set you up there. And I don't always forget to bring that away.
I could comment, but it wouldn't be YouTube friendly.
That's not very nice, is it now, Precious?
This car's not very nice now, is it now, Precious?
Is that my Gollum impression? Right, so that way would tighten it to bring it that way, so we're going that way. Always talk to yourself when you're doing these things, right to tighty, lefty loosey scenario.
Really, at 30 years old, should you still need to check right to tighty, lefty loosey?
See, there you go. If you just say right to tighty, lefty loosey, first shot, Michelle. Don't listen, when you're working back to front and things change on sides, it does get confusing. So again, we're just going to slacken that just now and work it there. So we can work that with our fingers. And now we need to get this wee chap out without busting the boot. Put a nut back on it, we're just going to get a wee dunk to shock it. Oh, that moved. There we go.
Are we going to pretend that you did that in the first take?
I did.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to damage the... And then we'll just slip that back off. Got away with that there, which is ideal. So same principle again, we're going to count with threads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, oh, 17 that way. So to there and then 17. Look how much, it's like a lot of years worth of rust in there. Surprised that came off as good. Oh, right, okay. So we're 17 now, we're going to have to take this off as well. What about that? So, let's spray up. And we'll work it out. We need to screw that back on and then do our 17. We're not going to be able to get as close, obviously, to join back to that, but we know we're 17 tons, it's getting a steering alignment anyway. But it means before it gets its alignment, it's not going to be sitting crazy. It'll be out, but... Right, set that way. I'll work the back on, and off you come. So... that actually looks a wee bit different to the one I have now. But definitely slightly different. Almost the same, just that extra bit. I love that, three-sided. Slight difference there, unfortunately. I just checked the other side just to match, and this looks like the other side, but I'm sure these aren't sided. It should be. It's got cross number and stuff on it. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be dramatic. Protection's protection. I'm still going to use it, but worst case scenario, it's a spare for the other side. We're not going to send it back to Lithuania to get what, £10 back. So we'll try it. I think it should still...
Yeah, you probably should check that before you bought it though.
Oh, alright, yeah. That is what it is. See, to be honest, this is the truth. I've just realised that. When I looked at the picture, this is a silly mistake, and this is where you learn your lesson. When I looked at the picture on, where did we get that, eBay, and I came out, so I seen the picture on eBay, and I said, I'll go out and check to see if it's a match.
Yeah. I
checked that side, but I didn't match it against this side. So I came out, because it's the nearest side to the garage, I checked on that side, and then I've looked at it and said, yeah, that looks the same, but actually on this side it's different. But remember, this is like a 30-something-year-old car, so has that been changed before? Maybe, maybe not, don't know. There's no markings on it, so we can't find that out. So this might be the one that should be on it. Oh, we don't know, but we're going to try it on anyway. What's the worst thing that can happen? Crash and die. Oh wait, that's on the driver's side, it's not even on your side. Away. And hope for the best. Maybe that's why it didn't. It's not for this side, Michelle. Gosh darn it. Oh wait. By the way, we're cooking with gas is the expression. We're kind of happy with where that's sitting just now. We'll double check it for the underside, but we'll get this built back up first. So we're going to slip our retaining nut on first. And 17 starting this way we said, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
So that should grip, see that grip there? So there, and 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That was not too bad guess with the retainer. Now, looking at that track rod, so what to be retaining clips and stuff in it, like the new one had. To be truthful, I think there might have been a wee bit of slight play on this side, but I don't know if it was play from the rack still, or whether it was the track rod end. We'll have to check for movement and everything. But since we've had this one off, I'm quite confident for changing it, so it'll be changed no bother, and we can get them. So to tell the truth, we might come back and just replace this for the sake of just putting a new one on if we can get it, and then that just means it's 2 new ones that's on it. That would probably just be ideal, so we might do that, but just for now we're going to pop this one back on and nip it back up, and we'll get things changed over, and then we'll check for play again, and we'll get these secured properly. A wee nip, not too much. When I'm using the gun, it's a handy wee tool, but you don't know. I mean, this here, I'm sure goes to about, it says on it somewhere how many newton meters, but it's like 300 newton meters or something. We don't need that to go 300 newton meters. That would be crazy, and there is no gauge on that. So see, right now I don't know how tight that is. So if I just nip that and take it as all because I gunned it, it's tight, it might come back off, which we don't want, especially on a steering component. So always just nip it back up by hand. Then that way you can do it by feel. You know exactly what's going on. So I'm happy with that, and we're just going to put our retaining pin back in that we've rescued. But as I said, we're going to change this over, I think. So we'll just put this back together just now, and then we'll split that in like so. And then we're going to tighten the track rod back up. Michelle, do you remember?
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
That's right. So we're looking to bring it closer, which means we need to spin it that way. So we're going to put that in to hold. That's nice and tight. always do this as well, guys. So tight, split pin. I talk myself through it. We'll get in there and secure that next. But talk myself through everything, then I know I've got peace of mind and I know that's tight, especially on a steel component. Just going to use this wee universal clip. I don't rate them the best, they're not my favourite to use. I'd rather just put a Jubilee, but this might just be a slightly better fit comfort wise. So we're going to hook it up and clip it on. They're a bit footery, and then we just use these to crimp it together. It closes in and just grips these wee teeth up here. I hate these, but we'll give it a shot. And we'll keep an eye on it. If it's not going to be the beneficial thing, then we'll change them. Maybe over crimped that, to be honest, but we'll keep an eye on it. It's definitely strong and it's secure. And this side here, it was actually wire, so we're going to have to try something different. Maybe order some wire or something to tie them up, because they broke when I tried to untwist them. Just on another side note, when I slipped that off there to show you the inside bush, this one slipped on and seemed to fit with this kind of design here. Something tells me they might be sided, but at the end of the day, protection, that's certainly doing a lot more and beneficial to us than the one that was on it. That's giving us a degree of protection. The other one was obviously not, so something covering there is better than nothing. So it's not doing any harm, it's not obstructing anything or in the way in, so it's better than nothing. But the way that's fitted on would suggest that that is for this side and that one comes different, but it is what it is for now. It's not going to do any harm. It's doing as good, so it's beneficial. So we're going to leave it at that. But we've clipped these, and we're going to get some wire for them. Right, guys, just a wee peek before we go. That is the bush I was referring to, where the play was coming for the steering rack. So that's why we removed everything on that side. So I want to give you a quick shot of that before we tied everything up. So we're just going to slip the boot back on now and then secure it all up. Right, guys. Just to recap, that's the steering done. So steering track to the end is done. We might need to do the other one, we don't know yet. But it's built back up. And the steering boot is done, which means this video here should be coming soon. The next video you guys are going to get will be the exhaust. We patched the exhaust up, we welded a plate onto the silencer. Basically, to get the exhaust, we've got a full stainless steel system there, but to get the exhaust made, everybody wants the car, and to get them the car we need to do this one here, and then the first drive might be taking it. So it's just a repair patch on the exhaust just now. We're going to put it back on the car. That is the original exhaust. We've repaired the hole. It's going to do for now to get it through an MOT, so as we can then take it down. But we'll have the material there, which you'll see in that video. But that's going to be coming next. So we've made a start into this Super Pulsar series. So thanks again for joining us. As always, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, it would help us grow. Any comments, pop them in the box. Comments would be great and feedback would be great, because I don't know much about these little cars, so any help or constructive criticism would be awesome. We'll take it on board and it will help us going forward. But we hope you enjoyed this video, this simple video on the track of the end and the steering boot, but it's a start and we're going in the right direction. Next we'll get the exhaust, then interior, engine bay, MOT and register, first drive, and then off to paint. And that should be the Super Turbo series done. And thanks again guys for joining us. See you in the next video.
Hi guys.